there's anybody watching a YouTube land. I just wanted to get something off my chest. I just wanted to talk. So these are going to be just diaries, just for me to vent. And I think it's good that there's not a lot of attention towards these videos. I like coming here, not being scripted, and just voicing my emotions and my feelings. So what I'm finding is that my soul is forcing me to do this, but what I can't understand is the addiction of food. I am severely addicted to food, and I hate that, and I don't understand how all of these bouts of fasting didn't cure me of my addiction. Like, this is crazy. Crazy. Like, it just seems like it would be so easy to get over an addiction. But food is actually a serious addiction. And people don't understand that. And it seems so stupid and so trivial to say that you're an addicted to food, but we know that people out there are. And you got the 600-pound life, my 600-pound life. I used to look at those shows, and I was addicted to watching those shows. It was like a mukbang in a sense to me, you know, to watch them eat, but then to watch them hurt at the same time. I would have tears for them because, you know, inside of my family was obesity. My uncle was 600 pounds, and my mother was heavy. She didn't reach that much, but she was heavy. She was short, so she was about 350 maybe. She got pretty big, and it was always a fear of mine. It was always a fear of mine getting that size, so I would join sports. I would do anything and everything to stay fit because I never wanted to be that size. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be that size. So I don't understand. In my life, I was never addicted. I never needed food like that. I never ate food like that. So I can't understand where my addiction is stemming from, because going on this journey, it seems like if you don't spiritually speaking, there are things that you have to do when you're on this track. There are things that you have to do to get out of your system. If you are last incarnate, and I'm a last incarnate, in order for me to get to the void after I pass, to not come back again, I have to go through this process. I have to go through this process. And what I'm frustrated and angry about is I know this, and all the years of fasting, and all the years of, even when I was doing my fast, I cried like a baby, like I said before, and I just don't understand the work that I did on myself, why it didn't work. Why is it that I have to come to this point of going through breatharianism to get over a food addiction? Why do I have to go to this drastic measure that I am quite fearful of? I am fearful of breatharianism. I mean, I'm not fearful, I'm just concerned. I'm concerned. I'm very impulsive. And I'll explain it in another video, but I thought I had worked on myself during the fast that I went on, because I was breaking apart. At the same time, everything that I'm going through now with being emotional without food, I went through during the course of my fasting and dry fasting, crying because I couldn't have food. I was watching mukbangs. I was torturing myself during these fasts because the addiction was so strong. I needed to see somebody eating at all times. That was crazy, and it was torture. And it would make me want food even more after I got off of my dry fast or after I got off of my fast. And that was one way of a sure sign telling me that I was still addicted to food. Yes, I can go days, and I know I could go months without food as long as I'm able to. Maybe I'll say, I know I can definitely go 40 days without food, as long as I know that there's going to be a reward of food waiting for me. And that's how I know you're still addicted to food, because you still desire it. But what I can't comprehend is, you know how you have to do work on yourself. So I was thinking, like, where's this addiction stemming from? Where's this addiction stemming from? And what I come up with was the fact that my mother had passed away, and I guess I didn't grieve properly because I didn't eat food like that growing up. I always stayed, food was not entertaining to me. I was a what is it called? I used to pick my food like, I was a snacker. I never really ate like that. I never cared to eat like that. The food was never a problem for me. But it became a problem after my mother passed away. It became a problem after my mother passed away. And then that's when I started to look at food differently. You know, my point being is, I thought I took care of that. I thought I understood where my food addiction came from. And I thought, okay, now I can pinpoint why I'm so addicted to food and work on it. And I thought I worked on it. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do, because me working on that and saying, there's an aha moment. Now, you know, grieve from your mother the proper way, and know that food is not related to making you feel good or pain and suffering. You know, to make you feel good, you eat. And why you didn't grieve your mother the proper way, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know why I didn't grieve her the proper way. But I thought I dealt with it. I thought I dealt with it in Mexico. But apparently I didn't. Because there's no way I should still be... The reason why I'm doing these videos is because I know I'm going to have to go on this third journey of breatharianism, and I don't want to. And I need a place to vent my emotions and express why the fuck I don't want to go on this journey. But why I know it is so imperative for me too. Because I'm addicted to food, and I have to break the addiction. And this is what spirit does. If your soul needs to do something, and if it didn't do it when it had the opportunity to, all the time that I was fasting, I didn't overcome the addiction, and I was trying to, but it just didn't happen. And this is years of fasting. It still didn't happen. Then the longer it takes for you to overcome something, the harder it becomes. So breatharianism is something I never wanted to do. I thought it was torturous. But now my soul requires it. It demands it. Because I wasn't able to let it go during those times, years that I was fasting. And I'm still working on why I wasn't able to relinquish food. And sometimes, you know, a lot of people go on these breatharian journeys willingly, I'm sure. Willingly, but I don't hear a lot of people saying that they're reluctant to go on it because, and I'm sure there are people out there, But I like to see those people that don't want to do it but know that they have to. I like to see those people and see how they're getting by, because the addiction is real for me. And I'm emotional. I get emotional thinking about not going without food, and that's not good. So I just wanted to say that I tried to work on my addiction. For years I've been trying to, but it hasn't. Nothing has worked. And I can't say that I've done everything, but I've done the emotional work, and I've done, the bouts of fasting. So I know there's more emotional work that I need to do, but I definitely know going on this breatharian journey for at least 6 months to maybe a year, I'm not sure, I'm not going to put a time on it, and getting it out of my system and just living life without thinking about food, even if I was to go in a restaurant and smell it or see it being cooked. Those are my challenges. I want to not be tempted or triggered by the smell of food or by the sight of food. But I have to come here and talk about my frustration and my sadness of the food being taken away from me. It's crazy. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's crazy though. Never, who could be so addicted that they would cry over food? And I think because a lot of us, relate food with comfort. I didn't make it. A lot of us relate food to comfort. We relate food to everything. Food is like the number one thing, that's next to sex, next to feeling good, next to blissfulness, next to money. Food, money, and sex.